Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round 3 of our league tournament that happened at Die Hard Games on October 3rd, 2024. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format everyone wants. Spooky League Challenge Thursday, October 24th at 6 p.m. Surging Sparks Prereleases start Saturday, October 26th at 1 p.m. and League Cup Saturday, November 23rd at 11 a.m. All Central Time, all at Die Hard Games. Go see more info in this video's description, and check out Pokemon's event locator for premiere and other events at the shop, such as League Challenges, League Cups, pre-releases, and more. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's research this game. On the left, Dragapult. On the right, Cinderace. Looks like our Cinderace player is going first this game, which is very good. I think both of these decks want to go first if they get a choice. We got Pidgey in the active spot, Rotom V on the bench. All we need to see is a basic, oh no, but the player just looks at their hand for a few seconds and says, Rotom V, instant charge, draw 3 cards and end my turn. No basics down. Things start over on the left on Dragapult's side here, completely opposite with a Buddy Poffin. Our Cinderace player would have loved to have that item card on their last turn that allows the player to search their deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less. Dreepy put onto the bench, Pidgey put onto the bench. They eat up those Buddy Poffins and join the party here, with Pheasantipity EX in the active spot. Energy attached to the bench Dreepy, and things are passed back over to our Cinderace player. Not the most explosive start for our Dragapult player, but considering the Cinderace player's start, it's just fine. Now our Cinderace player begins their next turn with a Feather Ball. That item card allows them to search their deck for a Pokemon with free retreat. Guess who has free retreat? That Pidgeot EX. Can we have a Rare Candy in hand? We do. Rare Candy allows the Pidgey to evolve straight into the Pidgeot EX with its powerful Quick Search ability being used right now that allows the player once per turn to search their deck for 1 card. Pick a card, any card. Pokemon, Trainer, Stadium, Item, Energy, Special, anything. So a Buddy Poffin, I think, is what's being found here, where we get a little bit ahead of ourselves there. Let's see. That was going on my little rant there and didn't pay full attention, but it looks like 2 Cinderaces were grabbed off of the quick search, and I can instantly think of what the player was thinking. I'm going to grab a Buddy Poffin and then play it to search the deck for the 2 Cinderace to put onto the bench. We'll see if our players catch up with things here in a second, but for now we'll just move forward with the video. I'm sure it's an honest mistake. You can see what the thought process is at least. And next, a Crispin supporter is played. That supporter has you search your deck for 2 different basic energy cards, accelerate 1 onto a Pokemon in play, and put the other energy card into your hand. Usually it's always attached immediately after. Fighting and Fire are found off of Crispin. Fire is accelerated onto the Cinderace on the bench. Fighting energy put into hand, and let's get this deck shuffled up for our next action. I also want to say on the Buddy Poffin deal here, it's both players' responsibility to keep track of board state. So, you know, if a mistake is made, it is both players' responsibility to catch that. So that's why we also, have no problem moving forward here, as I'm sure it was an honest mistake, as a Fighting Energy is attached now per turn to that bench Scorbunny, excuse me if I call it Cinderace earlier. And our player is checking out their hands, seeing if there are any more good plays, but none better than a Rotom instant charge for 3 and ending the turn. We've got a Fire Energy, it seems, on the bench Dreepy here that evolves now into Dracloak. Boss's orders will bring that Rotom V into the active spot. Next, Dracloak will use its Recon Directive ability to look at the top 2 cards of the deck, put one into the hand and the other at the bottom of the deck. Psychic Energy found and put onto that Dracloak, and things are passed back over to our Cinderace player. They play another Feather Ball to search their deck for another Pokemon with free retreat. The Cinderace EX actually does have free retreat. So, what an amazing synergistic card in this Feather Ball in this Cinderace EX deck. Feather Ball will find the Cinderace EX with the free retreat. You probably play 3 or 4 of those Feather Balls in this deck here. And then the Pidgeot EX can search the Rare Candy if it's not already in hand, but it is. Rare Candy allows the Scorbunny to evolve directly into the Cinderace. Next, the Sparkling Crystal is attached to the Cinderace. That Ace Spec Tool card says when the Terra Pokemon this card is attached to uses an attack, that attack costs 1 energy less. So that's how the awkward Garnet Volley attack costs can be paid for a little bit more efficiently, or at least just with 2 attachments. We're going to see a Fire Energy attached to the active Rotom V now, just so that way it can retreat, I believe, as the other Scorbunny on the bench evolves into Raboot. I think that's its name, the Stage 1 evolution in the Cinderace line. Next is Pidgeot EX, Quick Search. Search your deck for a card. Pick a card, anything that's best for this situation. And I'm liking the sound of Boss's Orders, I was going to say, but then I realized Garnet Valley can snipe, so no Boss's Orders really needed here, because the Pokemon you want to knock out on the other side of the table is that Dracloak right now. So we'll see what our Cinderace player decided to grab off of this quick search here as they get things shuffled up and prepared for the next action. Rotom manually retreats into the Cinderace EX. Cinderace EX now the active Pokemon, and is it time to do some attacking? Yep, it looks like Cinderace is going to use its Garnet Volley attack for 1 fire, 1 fighting, and 1 darkness energy. This attack does 180 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. That means you can target the bench as well. There is a fire and a fighting attached to it, and with the Sparkling Crystal, eliminated the need for that 3rd darkness energy. Garnet Volley is live and legal here, and taking out that powered up Dracloak on the bench. Play resumes over on Dragapult's side, and they start things off with Pheasantipity, flip the script. If the opponent took a knockout on their last turn, you get to draw 3 cards. Rotom V is found and put onto the bench here. It looks like it's going to continue to be a setup turn for our Dragapult player. This turn, as an Iono is played next. That supporter card has both players shuffle their hands, put them at the bottom of their deck, and then draw cards from the top equal to their remaining prize cards. 6 for Dragapult, 5 for Cinderace here. We need more Dreepy, and one is found. A second Pidgey is found as well and put onto the bench. Next is a Buddy Buddy Poffin. You can only choose 1 Pokemon to add to the bench here, since the bench size limit is 5, of course, currently. And that Manaphy is found now. Manaphy has the Wave Veil ability that protects bench Pokemon from attack damage. So no more Garnet Volley to the bench thanks to that Manaphy. Earthen Vessel is played next, discarding a card in order to search the deck for up to 2 basic energy cards. Fire and Psychic found here. I imagine one of those is going to find its way onto the bench, Dreepy. And there's only 1 card in hand currently, too, I believe. So there we go, fire onto the bench, Dreepy. And that's about it, I think, except for a Rotom instant charge to end the turn. Play resumes over on Cinderace's side on the right here. And they've got everything in play. They're going to start things off with an Earthen Vessel, discarding a Buddy Buddy Poffin now. Don't really need that too much since there's almost 2 Cinderace in play currently. So their Vessel will find a Fire Energy and a Darkness Energy to add to the hand here. You probably start powering up the bench Raboot. But before that, Pidgeot EX uses its Quick Search ability to search the deck for a Cinderace EX to evolve onto the bench there. Double Cinderace EX in play now. So just the energy attachments are all that are needed. Crispin may be a way to accelerate that, but we'll see what our players got and what their strategy is. Fire Energy attached to the bench Cinderace EX. And a Garnet Volley, or actually probably a Flare Strike. Yeah, since the active was knocked out and it has more than 180 HP that Pheasantipede does, Flare Strike is used, 280 damage. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon can't use Flare Strike. We'll have to watch out for that. As 2 more prize cards are taken, Dreepy creeps into the active spot and play resumes over on its side. Double Pidgey on the bench. That was just put down to thin the hand and for some insurance if one of the Pidgey would get knocked out. So that way, for sure, we can have a Pidgeot EX this turn, and that's what we're seeing. Rare Candy allows the Pidgey to evolve directly into that Pidgeot EX. Both players have that all-powerful Quick Search as an option during their turns now. Fighting Energy attached to the active Dreepy, and an Arven is played next. That allows the player to search their deck for an item and a tool. Rare Candy could be found, that Sparkling Crystal could be found, just depends on what's in deck. The Forest Seal Stone is also a good pick here for the tool, which is actually going to be that Gravity Stone. And the Rare Candy, was it? Yep, Gravity Stone and Rare Candy are found off of the Arven, put into the hand. Now let's hope there's a Dragapult in hand to evolve this Dreepy into with that Rare Candy. Quick Search is still online, so I guess the Dragapult is guaranteed. But our player is actually going to preserve that Quick Search in favor of using Ultra Ball, discarding a Super Rod and that Gravity Gemstone to search the deck for that Dragapult EX, put it into hand. Rare Candy allows the Dreepy to evolve into Dragapult EX. It's fully powered up with the Fire and Psychic Energy. Next we're seeing a Pidgeot EX Quick Search to search the deck for most likely a supporter card. Boss's Orders is good. You can knock out the Rotom V to take 2 prize cards and try to catch up in the prize trade. But then you're not dealing with the double Cinderace that's on board. So how can our Dragapult player tackle this matchup and come back into this game? Dreepy was found off with a Quick Search, so that's good, favoring the backup attacker here. Oh, maybe there was the Iono played earlier this turn. I could have gotten mixed up and thought there wasn't a supporter, but maybe there was. I'm not going to go back in time currently. We will just attack into the active Cinderace EX. So Dragapult EX's attack does 200 damage to the active Pokemon, and then you can put 6 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon in any way you like. All 6 will go onto the bench Cinderace. 200 on the active. Play resumes over on Cinderace's side on the right here. How could they solidify their lead? They start off with a Pidgeot EX Quick Search. Remember, the active Cinderace can free retreat. It has a 0 retreat cost into the other, but we got to get the other powered up somehow, at least with the double turbo energy. As Quick Search finds the Pal-Pad, that item card allows the Crispin to be shuffled back into the deck from the discard pile. So that is a way to get the Cinderace on the bench fully powered up this turn, if that Crispin can be found. Pidgeot EX was used already, so we can't just pluck it out of the deck with that. So I wonder if they have Pokegear or something like that in their hand. Or another way to draw more cards is if Darkness Energy is attached to the bench Cinderace EX. Doesn't look like there's too much more based off of the body language. At least the Garnet Volley is an option this turn. Forest Seal Stone gets put onto the bench Rotom, so that can find the Crispin if the player so chooses. That can fully power up the Cinderace on the bench with more HP to go in for an attack here. 180 damage is just 10 short of knocking out the Rotom on the bench. So it looks like the Cinderace will use a Garnet Volley for 180 damage onto the active Dragapult EX, and player will resume over on the left on Dragapult's side. I believe we are seeing a Pidgeot EX quick search currently. Search the deck for a card. Iono would be good to draw some cards and disrupt the opponent's hand, but just depends on what's in deck, what's in hand, and our player's strategy. I didn't quite catch what was in hand with the flash there. And they got the Iono right at the front of the deck, so I think that's what we're grabbing with Quick Search here. And hope to draw some good stuff, build another Dragapult, and more importantly, disrupt the opponent's hand. But disruption is a little hard to rely on since the opponent has a Pidgeot EX in play with Quick Search. So Iono is played, shuffling both players' hands, putting them at the bottom of the deck, and then they draw cards from the top equal to their remaining prize cards. 6 for the player on the left, 3 for the player on the right. Experience share is found and put onto the bench Dreepy. Our players checking out their discard pile, moving that Dracloak to the front as they then play the Night Stretcher to bring the Dracloak out of the discard pile into the hand and evolved onto the field here. Dracloak uses Recon Directive to look at the top 2 cards, put that one at the bottom, keep that Ultra Ball in hand. No need to play the Ultra Ball right now, so you can probably just hold it for next turn. We're slowing down here, so the turn may be coming close to an end, which will result in a KO on the active and more damage counters onto the bench. Setting up that bench Cinderace for a knockout by a Dragapult EX on the next turn. All 6 damage counters go on it. The active is cleaned up, knocked out. Pidgeot EX moves into the active spot since it's got free retreat, and play resumes over on its side on the right. How can our Cinderace player respond? They start out with that Buddy Buddy Poffin, searching the deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less. You can put another Scorbunny down. Scorbunny does have 70 HP, so it wouldn't get knocked out instantly by Phantom Dive by Dragapult EX on the other side. Yeah, maybe that Radiant Charizard is a lot better for this spot in the game. Either way, it thins that Pokemon out of the deck, puts it onto the bench for a potential evolution later. We need at least 1 more energy to attack, since the Sparkling Crystal is gone now. Pidgeot EX can guarantee that if it's not already in hand. So we're seeing Quick Search right now to search the deck for any card. Don't think there was a supporter played. The Crispin could be good to get a couple more energy into play. It looks like that's what we're going for. Crispin, accelerate a fire energy from the deck onto the bench. Cinderace, put the darkness energy in hand. No, we're actually going to accelerate the darkness energy with Crispin onto the bench Cinderace and keep the fire energy in hand. That will most likely get attached to the newly benched Score Bunny. There we go. Attach fire to the newly benched Score Bunny. Pidgeot free retreats into that Cinderace EX. And I think we have to use Flare Strike here, since the Garnet Volley costs a fire, fighting in darkness. We've got a fire, darkness, darkness, so enough to power up Flare Strike. Fire, colorless, colorless, 280 damage during your next turn. This Pokemon cannot use Flare Strike. But, most importantly, it cleans up the KO. 2 more prize cards taken, 1 prize card remaining for our Cinderace player. Now, in this late game, the experience share with the knockout does preserve a fire energy onto the bench Dracloak there. So I think we'll see Pidgeot EX move into the active spot over on the left, and play will resume there. Just a Dragapult EX is needed, as well as a Psychic Energy to attack here. So Earthen Vessel discards Briar in order to search the deck for that Psychic Energy to put into the hand. Quick Search does guarantee a Dragapult EX, but maybe we have ways to draw cards or find the Dragapult EX in hand and can preserve the Quick Search for something else. There is an Ultra Ball in hand, so useless cards can be thinned from the deck, from the hand here, and the deck, of course, I guess. Psychic Energy is attached to the bench Dracloak, and next is a Recon Directive to look at the top 2 cards and see if either of them are Dragapult. It looks like that was the Ace spec that was put onto the bottom of the deck. It's probably Sparkling Crystal has the Ace spec in this Dragapult deck. We don't need that right now since the Dracloak has the required energy attached. So we're going to put the Ace spec on the bottom, keep that other card. I didn't quite catch what that one was either. I think I see a Judge in hand, so we could disrupt the opponent, but an Iono would be a better disruption option. Either way, Ultra Ball will discard 2 cards in order to search the deck for Dragapult EX. The attack is online currently. There is still a Quick Search available, I believe. So let's see what else our Dragapult players got to come back into this game. Dragapult EX evolves on the bench here. Hawlucha comes into play onto the bench. When it does, choose 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon and put a damage counter on each of them. Looks like one's going to go on Score Bunny, one on the Pidgeot EX, so there is a KO lined up for the Score Bunny here on the bench, as well as the active Cinderace. Next, Pidgeot EX uses Quick Search to search the deck for a card. Will it be that? I know it looks like it's a Pelpad. Another Quick Search for Pelpad. Or oh no, we got the Iono in deck. That's a little better, I think. Quick Search will add that card from the deck into the hand. I think we all saw that it was Iono, but we'll see here as our player gets shuffled up and ready for the next action of the turn. Free retreat into the Dragapult, and no Iono played. Was there a supporter played that turn? I don't think there was. Unless there was an oversight on the Iono. Alright, this time I will go back in time. See the actions here. So I think we just started, yeah, we started out with the Earthen Vessel. Yep. Maybe they thought with the Briar in the discard pile that was played for some reason. Alright, we got the Dragapult with the Ultra Ball. I think there was a Recon Directive as well. There was the Hawlucha. There was the Quick Search. Retreat into the Dragapult and attack. Yeah, so a potential oversight on our Dragapult player's side, not playing that Iono to disrupt the opponent's hand. Of course, we know it's not that as impactful since the opponent does have the Pidgeot EX Quick Search in play, but it would still reduce their hand size and options. So Dragapult takes the KO on the opposing damaged Cinderace EX, as well as the Score Bunny that had a damage counter thanks to the Halucha on the bench for a 3-prize turn here, bringing things to 1 prize card for both players. Pidgeot EX flies into the active spot, and play resumes on the right here as they attach a double turbo energy to the Pidgeot EX. It can attack. Next, quick search is used to search for that boss's orders. Yep, boss's orders brings up the Manaphy that's got less than 100 HP. Pidgeot EX knocks out Manaphy for the game. Very interesting game we had here for our round 3. What you guys think of this video and the commentary? Please leave feedback in the comments. Say whatever you need to say there, things I might have been missing from the game. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.